Hi everyone, Wismeril here. Just a quick heads up video because I've been blasting the beginning of the season. I hope you guys had a lot of fun too. I thought I would give you some information, useful tips and tricks that you can use while you are still in the process of leveling your character. And I'm planning to make a longer video where I will describe everything you need to know to correctly level up your character in the least amount of time. As you can see here, I've been blasting the campaign. I'm having a lot of fun. This time around, we did a group of 4. Some group play feels really nice. We have a group of 1 druid, 2 necromancers, and me as the only sorcerers willing to take the risk to go late game with my sorcerer. So far, we reached level 86. So we're doing things in a very optimized way, but obviously we're not racing like the pro teams are doing. I estimate decent leveling to take, let's say, 44 hours basically for the first team to reach level 100, to 60 hours to even 80 hours if you are on the slower side of leveling. Hence, the tips and tricks that I'm going to give you today might help you to speed up the process. Alright, so first, where do you level? We've been trying a few different techniques with my team and they yield different results. So first, anyway, you need to level up to 20. You will level up to level 20 in Dead Man's Dredge because this is available right at level 1 if you go southeast from Kiovashad. I recommend running this dungeon over and over until you reach level 20. Then we tried the Sarat's Lair dungeon because this one is very good also for experience. So we did that from 20 to 30, I believe, until I unlocked the second enchantment slot for the Sorcerer. After that, we did a few runs of Core Dragon to test if the Stronghold experience was still good, even though it was heavily nerfed. We did a little bit of Onyx Watchtower and we did a lot of Temple of Rot. Now, if it was to be done again, I think I would spend the minimum amount of time I could in Dead Man's Dredge. I would probably skip Sarat's Lair. I would do Dead Man's Dredge till 1720. Something like that. Then I would switch to Core Dragon Stronghold to continue leveling until I meet the minimum level requirement to do both Temple of Rot and Onyx Watchtower. Temple of Rot is by far the best experience you can get when leveling. So that's the place. You really need to make runs and runs and runs in this stronghold in order to level up your character. One thing to notice, this place, this stronghold, the Temple of Rot, doesn't yield a lot of rare items. For that, you have to go in the Onyx Watchtower because you will find a lot of rare items in this stronghold. But the experience is not as great as in the Temple of Rot. So what I recommend is once you're done with your Core Dragon runs, you do the Onyx Watchtower a few times just to get some rare items that you can equip, and then you switch to the Temple of Rot, and every 5 to 10 level in Temple of Rot, you go back to the Onyx Watchtower just to get additional loot, additional rare items before switching back to the Temple of Rot. Now, quick word about the season, the questline. I really recommend doing the questline before entering War Tier 3. You have to fit that in between, let's say, your stronghold runs, because this questline leads to a bugged, I believe it's a bug, I'm not sure if it's intentional, it looks like it's a bug. This Malignant tunnel here, Ravening Pit, this one, that's, I'm not going to spoil the sideline quests, so once you finish it, you will end in that dungeon because the final boss is here, let's say. And this final boss drops some very interesting items. I'm going to show you right here. Meet some 800 item power sacred stuff or sacred rare items. Normally 800 item power should be ancestral, like those ones. All those items, I've been looting them with this bug. So the main difference of this item being sacred and not being ancestral is the minimum level requirement. If you look at the bottom right corner, this one requires a level 60 character, while normally for such a high item power you would require a level 80 character. And the reason why this is 60 is because when I killed the boss and got that loot, I was more than 60. To continue further into this bug, if somehow you are, let's say, a level 15 character and you can kill that boss, it will drop this item with a required level 15, i.e. your level when you kill him. So that's pretty busted in my opinion, because obviously you might not be able to kill him at level 15 because you don't have the power to do so, but if one of your friends has a character that advanced to level 70, 75 and is able to kill that boss for you, every time you kill him, you're going to get one or two of those bugged sacred items. Sometimes you get two regular ancestral ones, but sometimes you get 1 to 2 in that version, and this is very, very strong. In order to loot those items, you need to kill the boss in World Tier 4 difficulty, Torment. So that's why your friend needs to be level, let's say 70 to 75 to be able to play in Torment difficulty and to have the power to defeat the boss. That's a new way to PL power level, friends, I guess, because if you're level 15 and you get one of those weapons and you start, leveling, doing the campaign and leveling your character with this item, you're gonna find that it's pretty easy because you have access to a lot of power early. The same can be said for the other items. Look at the amount of armor on this chest, 1400 armor. For a level 15 character, that's pretty busted in my opinion. So use that strategy while it lasts, because this is very, very strong. Remember, finish the campaign in the sideline quests in World Tier 1 difficulty. You will have access to this dungeon. Then you need to kill the boss in World Tier 1. Then craft a specific item, I'm not going to spoil you too much, in Kyovashad in order to kill the boss again in World Tier 3 difficulty, and then craft again this special item that will allow you to kill the boss in World Tier 4 difficulty, and only in World Tier 4 the boss will drop those items. After you reach World Tier 3 and World Tier 4, what you want to do in those difficulties is to chain run nightmare dungeons. That's the best place to level up your character. The amount of XP you get is insane, and you will get a lot of ancestral rare items and drop a lot of legendaries. The number one place for that is Uldur's Cave. This is by far the best nightmare dungeon available at the moment. Nothing comes close to this dungeon. Now, the problem is there are 35 different nightmare dungeons, and when you drop a key or you craft a key at the occultist for a nightmare dungeon, it's random, right? You're not guaranteed to have access to this specific nightmare dungeon. Well, I'm going to tell you a nice trick that you can use in order to chain run the same dungeon with the same key. So you will keep the same affixes of that key over and over, and you can reset the dungeon. This is very helpful because otherwise you only have one chance out of 35 when you craft a key or a key naturally drops for that key to be Uldur's Cave. Okay, the process goes this way. Once you have a key to Uldur's Cave with nice affixes that are not crippling your build, okay, you need to do that with a friend. It doesn't work for solo self-farm. You need a party of at least 2 people, okay? The team leader of that party is the one that has the key, okay? That person will use the key to open Elder's Cave Nightmare Dungeon. Both of you port to the dungeon and enter it, okay? Now, you're at the entrance inside Elder's Cave Dungeon. The team leader will give the team leader role to the second person in the party. That second person is going to accept it. Then, that second person will give back the team leader role to the first person. And the first person is going to accept it, okay? Then, you clear the entire dungeon. Farm your things, get lots of XP, you know the process. Then you finish the dungeon and the bubble pops at the end where you can upgrade your glyphs. Now this is very important. The first person, the current team leader, who was the team leader when the dungeon was open, will upgrade his glyphs, okay? He upgrades his glyphs all the way. The second person does not upgrade his glyphs. Now, the first person, after upgrading, will quit the group. By doing so, the team leader position will move to someone else in the team. Okay, the second person, doesn't matter who it is. Now, once the team leader is gone, all the other party members can upgrade their glyphs. Okay? Once they upgrade their glyphs, they are going to join the group of the first person that left, yeah? Because that first person, after leaving the group, will be teleported out of Elder's Cave and will be standing in front of the dungeon's entrance with this dungeon having reset, you know? If he enters the dungeon, it will be ready to be cleared again. But he will wait at the entrance for the other party members to join his group. And once everyone is in a group again, you enter the dungeon and it's ready to be farmed again. You can do that over and over again. I think it is a bug, I'm not so sure, but I think that's what everyone is doing nowadays to farm good nightmare dungeons, should I say. So use this tip and trick. It will really help you in the process of leveling, okay? Once again, so that you're sure that you're not messing up with a very nice rolled key. Everyone gets inside the dungeon. The team leader gives the team leader role to someone else who passes it back to him, both accept. Then everyone clears the dungeon. Then the glyph upgrade bubble pops. Only the team leader upgrades his glyphs. Then he leaves the party, is ported in front of Elder's Cave dungeon. The rest of the team upgrades their glyphs and then they join again this previous team leader. Everyone enters the dungeon and start and rinse and repeat. Okay, this is the process, and that's a very convenient way to chain run the best nightmare dungeon for XP farming. Okay, now just a quick heads up. Of course, it will be detailed in a different video, a longer video. Okay, but I'm just giving you information right now so you can make the most out of it. What build are you going to play during the leveling process? First, from level 1 to level 15 to 20, you want to play the lightning leveling build, okay, that revolves around Arclash and chain lightning. I will cover that in a longer video. It's basically available pretty much everywhere on every website that speaks about leveling for the Sorcerer. It didn't change much, and you will find in the Baisa video that I uploaded previously, you'll find all the details. It didn't change, okay? So you want to deal damage with Arclash and with chain lightning, right? Level 15 to 20, that's the moment you want to switch to the Ice Shards build, because that's the best leveling build for the Sorcerer all the way to 100, except it falls off very hard, level 75 to 80. But we'll talk about that in a minute. So level 15 to 20, you switch to the Ice Shard build. It's a super good speed farming build because of the mechanic of Frost Nova into Ice Shards enchantment, and also kiting enemies forward while you progress into the dungeon or the stronghold. This is very strong and very convenient, okay? Now, in our team, we had 2 Necros and 1 Druid and me. So I was mostly carrying the team from level 20 to level 40, 50. Early on, the Necro and the Druid, their leveling build is not that great when you don't have access to all the gear you need, right? While the Sorcerer, with this aspect, the Piercing Cold that is available from Dead Man's Dredge dungeon, and a few other legendary aspects that are available right away, makes it very easy to assemble and to start blasting already. So level 20 to 40 to even 50, you'll be the one carrying other members of your team. Now, once your friends level up their build, it's going to be the opposite. Because like with 2 Necros running Bone Spear, let's say starting 50 or 60, they were the one carrying me. Like I was doing 1/3 of the damage they were doing. And when we reached level 80, it was even more obvious that they would be the one to deal damage, and the sorcerers hardly fall off at that moment of the game. So what's happening now is that to finish the run to 100 from 8, well, I'm already 86, but I had this in mind for a long time. Let's say from 75 or 80, I should have switched already to a full support build, which is what I'm going to do now. I've assembled a lightning support build that I'm going to run, and it's better to let them do the damage and to provide full utility to the team. Well, your role will be to pack enemies, make several groups, like tightly packed of enemies in the dungeon very fast, so that they just have to move forward and one shot with a Bone Spear and move as fast as we can in the dungeon. At the same time, your role is to debuff the enemies so that they will do 40% less damage with some of the nodes in the lightning build. And your role is also to crowd control them for like 4 seconds, nearly 5 seconds, to really make sure the necromancers or whichever class you have in your team can go full glass cannon and just annihilate the content and go really fast in the runs. So that's it for today. I hope that the information I provided was helpful to you. Apologies, the way I talk, like I'm quite slow, I'm lacking a lot of sleep. I didn't get to sleep very much in the last days, but still I want to have this information out for you guys so that you can use it as early as possible during your leveling process. A longer video with the quality standards I have for the videos that I usually produce will be available later on this week. For now, just a quick heads up for you guys to use the information. This is Wismeril signing off. Have fun, guys. Enjoy the season. It's really a good season in my opinion. It will get even better on Friday when we get the announcement of the buffs that are going to happen for the Sorcerer class. I really hope they are going to bring the power to the equivalent of other classes, because right now the Sorcerer is really, really weak. Mostly because the amulet, or is that this one, the power of control, the legendary of control, is really weak. It has been nerfed to the ground. Like even if you apply 3 types of control to the enemy, the 53% multiplicative damage is only applied once, not 3 times as it was the case previously. And the Devouring Blaze passive there has been reduced a lot. It used to be 150%, now it's only 60%. So level 80 to 100, you are really going to feel that damage loss. Let's hope on Friday things will be better. Alright, Wismeril signing off. Have a nice day, guys.